All right, hey everyone, here we are, Baniff Springs, hole 1, par 4. So this is a hole that you might notice from the last tour. It was also in tour 4, and here you can see this is that pin that's tucked to the left here, and I like to use Cruiser on this one. That extra side spin makes this one a little bit easier. I also been meaning to switch to Holy Driver. If you have a Holy Driver, definitely use your Holy Driver. Of course, it's not something we absolutely need, but it's just something, it might give me a couple extra yards, and so it's way more accurate. That's the biggest reason to be using it. Even though I don't feel that a lot of these holes are very tight in Tour 5. So, you can easily roll through this tour with the Outlaw, if need be. Here you can see we almost got it pretty close to getting into that Sparrow. Now here's the problem, I'll never be able to hit that Sparrow. So I'm gonna have to short hit this. You can see that the ball guide's not nearly short enough yet. The only other thing that I sometimes try to do is I try to do this off the rough. So that's another possibility. And the rough bounce will be a little bit less aggressive. That's one of the main reasons that I would do something like this. So a little bit under 2 rings. I'll probably still use some curl. Of course, ultimate shot's going to be almost a requirement for this to be reasonable. I mean, you might still be on the green, but it won't even be that close if you don't get your ultimate shot. And if you, let's say you did it to the right, you're going to hit that fairway. So it is something you have to be very mindful of and be very confident in your game if you're going to go off the rough like I just did. Now, I just drove it too far. So that's one of the things you might want to take, mental notes. You're like, well, if I got it down here too far and I can't do that sniper the way that I wanted, and I had to kind of alternate my shot, just make sure you don't drive it that long on tailwinds. If you get a tailwind like that, just lay up a little bit because you can't get to the wedge that you want. So just make sure that you don't put it in between clubs. And this is a very easy, straightforward shootout for Tour 5. What I like to do here is just use the max line. You can see I'm not using a power ball. I usually use the backspin, but if I have a tailwind, I won't. Additionally, I'm very close to the max line. That max line is going to change depending on how much of a sniper you have. So here's usually where I like. It's right around here, I believe, with the 1 backspin, and then we're going to play just about half a ring here. You can see my opponent's in there pretty tight, so I definitely have to execute here if I want to beat that shot. So everything has to be perfect. I have to have perfect distance control. Now it usually kicks right and then rolls out left. Oh, it just came in too hard, and I think I'm going to lose the shootout so I just needed to pull back just a fraction. But you can see how well of a shot that was. Just didn't end up getting the win because I didn't pull back quite enough, but it was in there very close. It had a very good line. And as I mentioned, that one's going to kick right, roll out left. So I played it almost perfectly, just needed just a fraction more, and I would have easily not only won that one, I would have potentially made that one. It just rolled over, and just had a little bit too much speed. So keep that in mind. Good luck. I'll see you guys on the next one.